everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today's video is a bit of a different one. I have got my lovely client Freya with me today. She's let me film her kindly. So we're just going to take off her Easter design, which was on previously. We did a little green floral sugared number. So I'm just going to start off by taking off the old design using my e-file. I use the Sayang e-file, and here I'm just using the rounded carbide fine bit from Neo Nails. So I'm going to speed up this part where I'm just taking off the gel polish, and then next up I'm going to run through how I do my cuticles. So quickly, I just want to add that I am actually using my drill on a higher RPM today. I watched a video with Tabitha Scott, and she also mentioned it on her Instagram, that using a higher RPM, if you're using it on less of the nail surface, how can I explain it? So if you're using a higher RPM but you're using it on the nail plate but less in each spot, it's technically going to cause less heat. Run over to her Instagram or watch her video, she's amazing and she'll explain it better than I can. But yeah, I'm using it on about 20 RPMs, and then when I do the cuticles I think I was using it on about 12 RPMs. I used to use much lower, but using it higher I haven't found that anyone's struggled with the heat or anything like that, so yeah, really good tip. So this set has been on for about 4 weeks, and I'm just gonna, once I've prepped them, I'll head to the cuticles and then we're going to rebuild with some builder gel. I'll list as many products as I can as I go along, and if you have any questions then just please ask.
Turn us to thousands, and we'll grow in number, fueled by them to see the horizon. Turn us to thousands, and on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays, and on we'll go.
Okay, so now for the cuticles, I'm using the pip bit from Willow Academy. They have loads of drill bits on their website, really good for training also. So yeah, I'm pretty sure this is the pip bit. It might be the one above actually, could be the flame. I want to say it's the pip. So I use both of them, so I think the pip might be the smaller one, so this actually might be the flame. Anyway, so I'm going to use this bit. You can see it's like a rugby ball shape, and I'm going to use it on one side of the cuticle first. I actually do this instead of pushing back my cuticles now. Learnt that from another tech and it's literally changed my nail game. So if you can learn how to use drill bits properly with training, I would definitely recommend this. I wouldn't say it was a Russian manicure, but this is the way that I do it now. So yeah, I'm going to use it on one side of the cuticle and then turn the rotation and do it on the other side. So another thing I actually learnt from Tabitha Scott on YouTube, she's literally insane, love her videos so much, really educational if you want to learn more about gel nails, but she taught me that I can actually prep the nails using my diamond bits. So I actually tend to prep the nail rather, I used to use a sanding band, which sometimes I do use still if I feel like I want to, like switch it up, you know. But no, I tend to do my prep of the natural nail using the same bit. So I'll just go over the regrowth with the diamond bit, and I haven't had any problems with lifting or anything like that. No problems with heat either. So yeah, I really like doing that. So today we're actually going to go from a more of a coffin shape to, more of a tapered square down to an almond. So we're just going to reshape all 10 nails And then yeah, I will do the base coat. I use quite a lot of different files, so it just depends on which ones I kind of feel like buying. I do change my products sometimes, so files I will use kind of any of the same grit. I do have favourite ones. The ones from the gel bottle are my favourite. I just don't have any at the moment. So these ones are just some random ones I think I got on eBay a while ago. They are 100 and 180 grit, so I tend to use the lesser of the rough side. I actually don't use the 100 grit for anything anymore. So yeah, I'm using the 180 grit to file into shape.
Fueled by them to see the horizon, turn us to thousands, and we'll grow in number. Fueled by them to see the horizon, turn us to thousands, and on we'll go. Through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go. Through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go. Hold me close till I get up. Time is barely on our side.
Apologies, before I do my base coat, I'm going to go in with my cuticle nippers and just get rid of any of the dead skin that's surrounding the cuticle. I found this has been much easier since I've been doing the cuticle prep with the diamond bit. It kind of like pushes all the dead skin into like a roll, so if that makes sense, like so that you can snip it off much easier. That's how I have found it anyway, so yeah, it's much easier to use nippers after I've used the diamond bit.
Through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll
Once I've done that, I'm just going to use my soft scrubbing brush and some isopropyl alcohol to cleanse all the nails, get rid of any dust that might be lurking in the side walls. And then yes, the base coat I'm going to use next is the Gel Bottles Clear Rubber Base, my absolute go-to with any nails. I've tried so many different bases, and like I said before, I do try and switch things up depending on my mood most of the time, just because. But I always go back to the Gel Bottles Clear Rubber Base because it's literally so good. I don't get lifting. It's really good, like strengthening. Sometimes I'll do 2 layers so that I can file down to it if I need to. It's brilliant.
go. Through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll and we'll grow in number, fueled by them to see the horizon, turn us to thousands, and we'll grow in number, fueled by them to see the horizon.
So after base coat, I would normally do like a slip layer with a builder gel and then a bead straight on top and kind of feather it down. Today I'm actually doing a thin layer of builder gel before I do that step, just because I wanted a bit more of a build with this set of nails. I just wanted the nails to be a bit stronger. They lasted 4 weeks, they didn't need to be stronger. It also helps with heat spikes, I find, if I do it this way. So if I do sort of a layer of builder gel before I then do my slip layer and another bead, It's better for strength, better for creating an apex, and it's just better for heat spikes. The gel I'm using here today I've actually warmed up on a mug warmer. I learned this hack from a tech on Instagram called Liana, polished by Liana Starbuck if you want to follow her. Love her nails, she's amazing. Yeah, so I tend to like gels that are a thinner viscosity so I can just move them about a bit quicker. But this one, I've found if I put this one on the mug warmer, it becomes that viscosity that I love. And it's also really good for heat spikes, this one. It's the Silk Air Builder Gel in Cover Pink. Really, really good for less heat spikes compared to a lot of other gels that I've used. Sorry guys, I was too busy talking as I entered the new step. So here I'm just doing the layer of slip gel, the slip layer, and then a bead of gel. And then what I'm doing is using a striper brush just to move that product into where I want it to sit. Really recommend trying this. It's definitely helped with my gel application, and it means that I don't have to finish file as much. I mean, I do tend to, I'll either buff the nails or I'll use a sanding band just because I'm a bit of a perfectionist and that helps me more mentally than anything. But yeah, the brush that I use to apply the gel and the bead is a Hazel Dixon brush, and it's the oval gel brush, I believe. I would also recommend investing in a brush like that because I didn't want to use the brush when I got it because I was scared I was going to ruin it, but it's literally changed my gel game. Like, it's so good. It didn't come with a lid, this one, but I've just used a lid off of another brush, I think, just to keep the gel from curing inside the brush. But once I've finished with the brush, I just wipe off the excess gel with a plain lint-free wipe and then pop the lid on. So I'll kind of just leave you to watch what I'm doing. Apologies if my hand gets in the way of the camera. I haven't really perfected my filming setup just yet. But yeah, like I say, I really like this gel. All I'm doing is applying that slip layer, applying a small bead towards the cuticle, and then feathering it down, adjusting it with my striper brush, just so that I have less filing to do. Also, the striper brush that I'm using is just from Amazon. It's one of the, I don't know how to say it, Boan art brushes, and they are brilliant for any nail art. They come in different sizes and they have lids, which is great.
Till I get up, time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't wanna waste what's left. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways. And on we'll go. till my shadow turns to sun rays, and on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go.
So I'm just cleansing the nails once they're all out of the lamp, and then I'm gonna quickly go over the edges just to make sure they are perfect. And then, like I say, sometimes I'll either buff over the tops just a little bit before application. You could go straight into application if you'd like, and you're happy with the shape. So technically I could have here, but I did use a sanding band, as you'll see me use next. Yeah, so I use a sanding band just to perfect them a little bit more, and then we go into design. So I'm just using a fine sanding band on a low speed. I know I talked about having a higher speed earlier on, but I think I used this on about 6 RPM, maybe 8. I could have gone to 8. Just because I didn't want to file them too much. It's literally just perfecting the smoothness of the top with a fine band, rather than buffing. That was just the way that I went with it this set. Sometimes I'll buff them, but sometimes not.
Turns to sun rays, and on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go.
So guys, I quickly have to apologise because as much as I tried to get every nail into shot, I kind of failed. So you don't actually see me do each nail at a time because I wasn't paying enough attention to the camera clearly at this point. But I tried to get a clip of as much as I could. Yeah, so apologies if you don't get to see some of them. So I didn't really have a plan with these nails. I had a bunch of colours out and then an inspiration picture to like help me along. I included all of the people that inspired me for these nails on my Instagram, which is Hollie Beauty. Yeah, so I had all my colours out and I was just kind of jumping from one nail to the other without like doing them one by one, if that makes sense. So if I'm all over the shop, then again, apologies, but we were just kind of going with it. And I hope I got as much on camera as I could. So yeah, I'm using a mixture of the gel bottle colours and some Magpie art gels. Really love the Magpie art gels. I would say if you're using a gel polish for nail art, it does work best on top of a no wipe top coat. that is a really good tip that I have learnt doing nails. So if you do art on top of a no wipe top coat, it doesn't blur, like the lines don't spread and they're much more crisp. So that's just a hack for you if you want to try that, if you're struggling with that. But yeah, I really loved how these turned out, especially this thumb. Actually, this was like a really cute lightning design, again inspired by someone over on Instagram. Yeah, if you have any questions about anything that I've done or tips that you might like, then just let me know below.
Through the highways till my shadow turns to sun rays, and on we'll go through the wastelands, through the highways, and on turn us to thousands, and we'll grow in number, fueled by them to see the...
So I ran into a couple of issues that I had to fix. So for instance, the Turkish eyes that I did on the little finger, because I used the art gels, they kind of became a bit too much of a peak. So at the end you'll see me like buffing the nails and then reapplying top coat. I think I did a top coat and then I buffed and then a top coat and then I had to buff again, and then I ended up doing 3 top coats on that one, but I'll learn that for next time, so it's absolutely fine. This nail here, I love doing croc print. They are so easy. I used to be really scared to try them, but I used a blooming gel from the gel bottle. You can probably just use a base gel or any really clear gel that's got a thin viscosity. So yeah, you just do a layer of that and then you literally draw the lines onto the top and just wait for the effect to like blur out a little bit. Really love that design.
The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't wanna waste what's left. And on we'll go through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays, and on we'll go through the wastelands, through the highways. get up. Time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't wanna waste what's left. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go. Finding life along the way, melodies we haven't played. No, I don't want no rest. Echoing around these walls, fighting to create a song. I don't wanna miss a beat. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, and on we'll go. And we'll grow in number, fueled by them to see the horizon.
I hope this video has been used to you. I feel like it is a bit too much all over the shop, so I'm just doing a top coat now. The ones where I put the little stars, I don't think I actually captured me putting the stars on because of the hand being out of shot, which is really annoying, so sorry. But yeah, I ended up doing 2 top coats on the ones that had the sequin stars on, for the same reason as the Turkish eyes. I just didn't want them to, you know when you can feel them through the top layer of a top coat. Yeah, so I just did a top coat, buffed them, and then did another top coat, and they were sealed in and perfect.
Hold me close till I get up. Time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us, and love is all we'll ever trust. Yeah, no, I don't wanna waste what's left. And on we'll go, through the wastelands, through the highways, till my shadow turns to sun rays.
So here's what I was talking about with the Turkish eyes. I was just feeling the lumps on the top, so that I was buffing a little bit and trying not to go too far with the buffer. But once they felt a bit more level, we did, like I say, 2 top coats, and then yeah, they were absolutely fine.
Finding life along the way, melodies we haven't played. No, I don't want no rest. Echoing around these walls, fighting to create a song. I don't wanna.
So one thing I do that probably other techs do I like to use a cuticle brush, just so that I can really get into the nooks and crannies of the nail, and they specifically like it when I go underneath. like, you know, when you go underneath the nail and it kind of makes you feel, I don't know, it just feels great. Yeah, so I do that. And I do that after I've waited for the top coat to cool down. I started to notice if I was doing that too quick, that it affects the top coat if you haven't let your gel come out of the lamp and cool down a little bit. So that's a tip for you as well. If you're finding that you've got issues with your top coat after cuticle oil, that's a little tip for you. So that pretty much brings us to the end of today's tutorial. Again, I'm sorry if I didn't include all of the nail art because it was out of shot, but if you have any questions, as always, leave them below and I will get back to you. Drop me a like and subscribe if you want to. Looking forward to my next video already. If you have any suggestions of what I should do next, let me know. Leave me a cherry emoji down below if you got this far. And yeah, I'll see you all in my next video. Thanks for watching. Bye.